These are 8 of the most common limiting beliefs that I encounter, that I've had to face in my own life, that I've encountered with other leaders. I hear these a lot, or some variation of them, and I want to just throw them out there and tackle them real quick. The limiting beliefs that I come across so much, one of them would be, I can't afford it. In other words, it's a scarcity mindset. I can't afford it. Resources are limited. Resources are scarce. I'm going to run out. And this sort of scarcity mentality is a limiting belief. Second one is this: I don't have time. I'm just overwhelmed. So I can't afford it is a scarcity of resources. I don't have time is a scarcity about time. And we'll say things like, I'm just so busy, I'm just so stressed out, I'm just so overwhelmed. And we tell ourselves that over and over and over. And it limits us because we really believe that we don't have time for anything good in life. So we don't ever try anything outside of the norm, outside of the routine. Saying, I don't have time is a limited belief. Because listen, the greatest influencers in history, the greatest inventors, the greatest leaders in government and military, the greatest leaders in business, the captains of industry have all had the exact same amount of time that you have. We all get 168 hours a week, period. You work about 40 or 50 of them. You sleep through, 8 times 7, 50 or 56 hours maybe. You sleep, and the rest you spend time with family, and you rest, and you get some leisure time in. So we all have that much time. You can do huge things with that time, or you can lock yourself into doing only small things because you'll believe that time is more limited for you than for other people. Okay. Here's a third big limiting belief. I just can't be myself because I'll be rejected. This one's extremely common. It is, I can't just be who I am. I can't just be free to pursue my passions. I can't just be who I am in my personality. I can't just lead the way that I really feel like I'm wired to lead because I'll be rejected if I do. People won't like the real me, and that's a limiting belief. You are you. God made you, and then He broke the mold. There's never been another one like you, and He looked at you when He got done with you, and He said, you are good and you reflect my nature. So who you are and who you're cut out to be, who you're wired to be by your Creator is good. So don't believe that being yourself is just a pathway to rejection. Okay. Number 4, I'll never be loved. People believe this because of past rejection. They believe it because of childhood. They believe it because they came perhaps from a broken home or someone who abandoned or walked out on them when they were young. They perhaps believe this because they've been through a couple of messy situations and relationships, a couple of divorces. And so we wind up believing that there's nobody on earth that can truly love us. And that's just not true. I believe it's not true because I believe God loves you. God has proven that. And He has sent other people into your life to love you. And so the idea that I'll never be loved is a limiting belief that relationally holds us back from exploring what it means to love others and be loved in return. Here's number 5. It's not my fault. Now, by this, I mean, nothing is my responsibility. Whenever you meet someone who always has someone to blame for all of their problems, you're meeting someone who will never overcome their problems. If I believe that everything that's wrong with my life is a result of what other people do to me, then there's nothing I can do to control it. There's nothing I can do to change it. But when I start to look internally, I start to take responsibility for my life, for my decisions, for my relationships, for my attitudes, then I can begin to change things. But as long as I believe that everything is everyone else's fault, that I'm just the victim of what other people do to me and what society has done to me, the government's out to get me, my friends are out to get me, my parents are out to get me, my spouse is out to get me. If it's everyone else's fault, I can't do anything to change my life. And so that is a extremely limiting belief. Okay, number 6. Is that what we're up to? Number 6. I can't take risks because I'll probably fail. That is, we go right up to the edge of a big dream of something that we want to attempt or try, and we hold back because we might fail. And the reality is, yes, you might fail. But if you see failure as an end, then you're in trouble. But if instead you start to see failure as a step towards success, failure as a learning opportunity, failure as a shaping and growing opportunity, then you can take risks and you can grow. You can break out of that limiting belief.